What are you doing, Tina?
What are you doing, Jenny?
We are two women living our best lives in the Black Hills of South Dakota, sharing our stories, laughs, and projects happening in the garage.
Whether you're looking for a bit of joy, a spark of creativity, or just a comforting voice, you can find it here. Unicorn!
Boom, shakalaka.
Boom shakalaka.
Tell us
Good.
about your morning, Jenny.
Yeah, Jenny.
Oh my God. You guys.
And we want to see the image, too, if people are watching.
So I went to pick up coffees for all of us, per usual, and I put my coffee in the cup holder. I put your guys's in the passenger seat floor well, and before I even get out of the parking lot, like my coffee lid popped off and literally kind of had a coffee explosion right in my car. And your two drinks tipped over in the front footwell. Thankfully, I had stoppers in them, but they still leaked a little. And as I'm reaching over trying to do this, like I feel wet on my back. Like I have coffee. I have coffee on my back and I'm wearing a white shirt.
Prove it.
Okay, ready? Good. Okay. Is it the shape of a country?
You got the trifecta. Hold
It
on.
kinda
Put your
looks like
arm down.
Alaska.
Put your arm down and like roll your shoulders forward. Oh yeah, it's like this one kind of looks like a turkey.
Oh.
And that right there is just a blob like
I see a cat up there.
India.
It's like a
It's just a
Rorschach
blob.
ink blot test.
Yeah.
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 So
It's
that
the
was
face of Jesus.
That's my morning. It's the Shroud of Turin on my back. Oh my gosh.
Well, that's fun.
A few years ago, I was taking care of a lady who had dementia, and she was like a lifelong Catholic, like staunch Catholic. She'd been to Rome many times. She had dementia. She's pointing on the wall to this like crown, like a thorny thing, and she's like, "This is the original crown of thorns right here." I was like, the one Jesus wore, and she's like, "Yep, this is it."
I remember you coming home and telling me I'd die. Oh man.
So if anybody needs to know where the original crown of thorns is, I know where it's at.
Wow.
That's awesome.
It was great that
You have so many good stories
I
from
do.
like just rando clients, people that become clients, people that need help that call you and they don't know what to do, and so you're like, well, let me stop by and
Yeah.
like never open the refrigerator. Don't ever open the fridge.
It's cardinal rule.
Yeah.
Rule number 1.
What's the worst thing you've found in a refrigerator?
You know, I'd say rancid meat probably takes the cake.
Yeah.
That's definitely a puker right there.
That's one where you don't save the container.
No.
You don't even actually save the fridge.
Don't
Whether
save
it's-
the fridge.
yeah.
You just strap
wheel it
that
out.
thing shut and you just drive it to the dump just like that.
Yeah.
Like that's what we do.
Pyrex and all.
Yes.
All of it. We
Yeah.
don't even
There's-
care what's
There's
in there.
nothing salvageable in that.
No. Yeah.
Oh. That's
Good
funny.
times.
Do you know what I would like to talk about today?
What?
The purchase of your home. It's the most beautiful story, and I think it's a story that needs to be shared.
Oh, that's a
good
do you
one.
want- yeah.
Yeah.
We
We were living in a small house. How many square feet was that house?
probably 1,600.
Yeah. And so
And it was a perfect. I bought that house. I had moved back, and the house was not for sale, like not on the market. It was a neighbor's house. Anyway, and it was exactly what I was looking for when I moved back here. I was looking for a one level on a slab, kind of an Al Beadle, Ralph Haver mid-century style home.
I have
And
no idea what
this
that is.
was it. Like it was
perfect.
perfect. And it was dated so I could gut it and do what I wanted to. And it was like this awesome, beautiful canvas. And I loved that house. But and that's the house that I met Jenny in. And when Jenny and the kids moved in, it was great for the first few years. But it only had a 1-car garage. which did not fit any of our vehicles. It was, storage for like the lawnmower and bikes and, that kind of thing. And as the kids get bigger, I think we talked about this on a prior episode. We had to stop and buy a bigger boat, AKA a new vehicle, when we were on vacation, because when the kids get bigger, their gear gets bigger and their sports get more involved. And
they get bigger.
And so do the smells. No, I'm just kidding.
And it would have been awesome if we could have made it through like that 5 or 6 year stretch, because once they age out of the house and start their own chapters as adults, it would have been the perfect aging in place home for us and easy to maintain. But that's not where life took us, and that's okay. So we were driving out Highway 16 to go to Storm Mountain, which is one of our favorite hikes
one of our
in the
best
fall.
Hikes.
We love, there's a stretch that have all these aspens and birch trees that kind of overhang the trailhead, and the leaves had turned already and some of them started to drop. So you get that smell of fall, the musty smell of the leaves. And it's our favorite. We both love fall. And when we were driving out there, I was like, where's that road go? And Jenny said, I don't know. I've never been down there. And I said, well, let's swing in there, after we run the dogs. So we did our hike. And
I turned my watch off.
Yeah, you're good. We stopped, as we came back, we turned down in there, and you drive away from Highway 16 for probably a third of a mile maybe, and then you drop down in to this housing development, but it's not a typical housing development. Like all of the plots are, 2 to 4 acres, and the houses are staggered, so nobody's right across from each other, and nobody is right next to each other. And we were like, whoa. And when you drop down in there, the very first house had a for sale sign. And I think that you had messaged a realtor friend of yours.
Yeah.
And said, hey, can you get us in to see this house? And we finished driving the rest of the way, and we're like, we just, around every turn, we're like, oh my gosh, it's so pretty down here.
Because it's full of oak trees, which is, we live in a pine forest. So to drop down in there and to see all of these oak trees in their full copper glory, and it was afternoon and the light was perfect, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is this is cool. And so we see this house, we get in to go look at it, and kind of same thing. So, but I want you to talk about what you saw, because Tina's eye is always different than everyone else's. So tell us what you saw. Yeah, she sees the future.
Yeah.
So when you drive up the driveway, you're driving through, there were maybe 3 pine trees in the front yard. And the house is set back from the neighborhood road in. It's set back and up. So the house is built like the main floor. It has a full walkout basement. The main floor is in the canopy of the trees.
Yeah, it's like a tree
So
house.
it's like a tree house. So when you drive up, you have legitimately like 60 oak trees in the front yard. And it's just heavenly. And the first things that I see are deferred maintenance, right? Like there's the first kind of, okay, there's been a few hailstorms that, things, it's, ephes or stucco hasn't been fixed. It's, things like that. But when we walked into the house, see what it looks like today. Like, I see that this wall can come down and that fireplace can be moved out of the center of the room, because when you walked in, to the left was a living room that was probably like 35 by 25. And then there was a fireplace, a double-sided fireplace that was 8 feet wide and 4 feet deep. The fireplace in the middle of it with these cutouts, like these niches, these built-ins on both sides. So it's taking up this massive amount of room in the middle of that footprint. And on either side of the fireplace, there are 3 steps that go up to an elevated section on the other side, which is the dining room, which has the same, 35 by 20. So if you take that out, it becomes a massive room. And I see that the ceiling is vaulted, so I know which way the trusses are running, and I know structurally that can come out without having to redo any, run an I-beam or any a lam beam or anything like that to structurally support it. And then the kitchen is massive, but it's configured the wrong way, in my opinion. So that is an easy thing to fix. The bones of the house are really good, and the layout is perfect for our family, because the only bedroom on the main is the master, is the primary, with a walk-in, ensuite bathroom. And downstairs is a huge family living area, again with a fireplace, gas fireplace, and like a wet bar and whatnot. And the kids, like the bedrooms, the 2 larger size bedrooms, are on opposite sides of that family room.
Perfect.
So it immediately speaks to me. And then the fact that you have all of this room outside to do big landscape projects. So I look at Jenny.
Wait, let me just say that at the house we were living in, Tina was out of projects at that house.
It was completely done.
And so I do feel like there was an itch for you to
for sure.
take on a new project. And
I get bored.
She gets bored.
I do. I get to the point where the thing is done, and I can't just sit and enjoy and do nothing. I have other hobbies, but those are small time fillers. They're not. I need to create. I need to make things with my hand. Like, I need to build. I need to construct. I need to renovate, whether that's the Jeep or a house or building something, a structure. That's my outlet for me. That's how I'm creative most effectively.
I have an aunt that's like that. I get it.
Yeah. So we both were like pretty enamored with the space. And we were there for probably an hour and a half walking through. I grabbed a tape measure in my truck, because I always have a tape measure and a notepad in my truck, and I'm taking notes and I'm taking room measurements the first time that we're in there, and walking outside and smelling and feeling and just being grounded in the space. But secretly, I'm going to out myself here. Uh-oh. Secretly, I left like 3 doors and maybe a window unlocked, because the house is vacant. And I know myself, I'm going to want to go multiple times a day because I want to see it in different settings, right? Morning, noon, night. I want to feel the space. I want to walk around. And I don't want to have to bother another person to let me out there.
Now listen, we are not endorsing this.
No. But this is legit
This is what happened.
This is what happened. So
This is what a unicorn would do.
You asked what about the home purchase, so this is what happened. This is how it started. So we leave, and this was probably, midday, like 1 o'clock when we left in the afternoon. And we were home for a few hours, and then I was like, Jenny, let's go back out there. So we drove back out in the evening, and we parked up in the driveway, but we just walked around the exterior. We didn't go back in the house yet. And I walked up on the hillside behind, and we took the dogs, and we walked across the street. There is a heavily wooded plot that's like 20 acres. So we walked that and looked at the house from that angle, and I wanted to see visually what it would look like. And I'm showing Jenny, I'm like, this is what I see. Like, the house was tan and forest green trim. Like, all the accents were forest green. And I said, we're going to paint it black. We're going to paint the house black, and we're going to use like Doug fir as the wood tone accents, and we're going to replace all these pillars. And I'm walking through it all, and I'm like, the deck comes off and that green wood railing comes off, and we'll use Trex deck or Fiberon or whoever the manufacturer. Fiberon is who we ended up using for the decking, the composite decking. But we'll have Justin at Creative Ironworks make us a matte black metal railing. But instead of vertical spindles, I want to use horizontal round spindles, but the framing is going to be squared tubing.
How does she envision that? Like looking at a house with a deck rail, and she already knows exactly what she wants to do. And this is like it's her gift, of being able to, because I can't do it. I can't walk into a space, and I mean, I might know that it's not the way I want it, but I don't know how to make it different, and that is, Tina can just see these things in her head, which is so amazing. It's just cool to watch.
So
did you have all this in your head before talking to a real estate agent? Or?
No, it was like kind of when I walked through. When we walked through with the agent, I knew inside what I wanted to do, what I would do if we got, this is what I would do. I knew the first time walking through, and that's why I took all the measurements and took so many pictures and notes. I knew what walls I would move, what things I would change, and I had a mental list, like there's no recessed can lighting anywhere in that house. So I'm writing that, just don't use 6-inch cans, use 4-inch cans,
Oh, wait, let's stop right there. Tina, you have strong feelings about 6-inch cans.
They're terrible. Don't use, they're awful. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good to have a great big 6-inch hole, especially in the average size house, right? If you think about the average size space and the average sized ceiling height, come on, the builders and the designers need to do better. They do.
I know, I agree with you.
And it's quick and it's easy and it's what they know, and it's, you've got.
I mean, come on.
The boob lights, right? The mushroom lights, the
yeah.
contractor packs that they're putting in. Come on, do better.
Well, and a lot of times you can get something that isn't a contractor pack for close to the same price.
Yeah. So no more 6-inch recessed can lighting.
It's not a unicorn thing to do.
No more average size can lighting.
We're not 6-inch people. We're 4.
In
Don't
that
do
regard.
it.
Sorry,
In that regard. So we end up going back in the house after we did the exterior walk, and I sat on the floor in the living room. I just sat there. You've been to the house, so the wall of window and the doors that open up on that north wall. And I just sat in the space and smelled the smells and felt the space, and that's when I really knew. And we weren't looking. That's the thing, is we were not looking for a new house. We were fine where we were. We had like, oh man, it'd be nice to have a little bit more room. You say things like that, but it's just a passing comment. It's not like we were surfing the MLS or anything like that. It just happened. And so we went home and we couldn't get it off our mind. Like we just kept talking about it. And Jenny would go to work. I'm working from home, right? Jenny would go to work. I'd get in my truck and I'd drive out there. And I would just walk. I would walk that yard. I would walk around different angles and look at the house from different viewpoints and at different times of day. The house had been vacant for a number of years. There was a lot of deferred maintenance that had not been completed. So we made another appointment with our realtor to go into the house. And that's when I brought a friend of mine out with us that we affectionately call Uncle Sean. I asked Sean to meet us out there. And Sean knows.
Another one of Tina's boyfriends.
I've learned so much from Sean. I would trust Sean with anything, not just building related, but he's one of my closest friends, and probably doesn't know that that's how high of regard I hold him in. I adore him and I love him and I so respect him. And he is one of the first phone calls that I make when I have a life event where I need to lean on somebody. Sean is one of my first phone calls. So I call Sean and I'm like, hey.
Because he makes you stronger. Like just his presence makes you feel like the fact that he's standing beside you makes you stronger. Like just by his presence.
Yeah, it's the same thing with like Tim Brady. Tim is another one that really in this last year, Tim and I, and not to exclude you from that, but I just have so much respect and admiration for who Tim is as a human being. Aside from the things that I learn from him and that I gain from his friendship, from his knowledge and from his presence, it's so much more than that. He is another one that those two boys, those two men, I feel like if there were anything in my life that I were going through, they would 100% drop what they're doing and show up.
Absolutely. And fun fact about Sean, his wife Amy is a nurse, and she's been my kid's nurse since they were born. And so, like, all their immunizations when they were little babies, like that's Amy's been the nurse. So,
yeah. So when we previously talked on the podcast that Trish was our PA, and then Sarah Lemon became our PA when Trish moved over to Monument for general surgery and bariatric, Amy was with them both. And so Amy has been with with me since I've been in Rapid City as my nurse.
You have
my
a lot
person.
of Amy's in your life.
I do.
Yeah.
I
Even
like
an
it.
Amy hairstylist too, don't you?
I like it. Yes, Amy Scherer French from B Sharp. Yeah, the salon. She's awesome. So I asked Sean to come out, and we looked in every nook and cranny. I wanted to know structurally, what am I getting myself into? If we make an offer on this house, like what needs to be replaced and repaired? And the structure, the foundation is clear. The structure of the home, there's no issue. The roof, there's no issue. Like all of your major components, you know, furnace is fine, water heater's fine. It's on a community well, everything's fine. It's cosmetic and deferred maintenance things. And no problem, I got that.
So for people who are contemplating buying their first home, and maybe getting into your first home means that you're going to buy a fixer-upper, because that's what we've done. We've just kept trading,
We just upgrade.
We just buy the, maybe not the best property. We make it the best property and sell, and then we do it again. And, that's kind of how we've. So what advice would you have for people who are looking at a house that is a fixer-upper?
So there's a couple of things. Find someone in your area that either is a retired building inspector, a licensed plumber, a licensed electrician, a general contractor that can walk through with you the property before you make an offer. Mm-hmm. So structurally some of the things ahead of time, because most people, and where our situation is different, most people are going to buy a home with a home inspection, right? They're going to have a home inspection as part of the process, and then there's the push and pull, the give and take,
right,
like as part of the negotiation. But I knew, given the price point and the fact that it was vacant for as long as it was, that having Sean walk through with me and knowing the things ahead of time, we could make our offer based on no inspection needed.
Mm-hmm. Can you talk about how you made the offer?
Yeah. So we decide after, walking through with Sean, everything's good. And the things that need to be done, if I can't do them myself, Sean and Brian's another one that I lean on heavily. The electrician friend of mine, retired, Brian Whitaker, super good guy. So we decide that we're going to make an offer. So we come in a little below list price because it has been on the market for so long, and there are some big ticket items, like the entire deck needs to come off. Like there's some big ticket items that pretty pricey to redo. We make the offer, and we get a phone call from our realtor same day, and she says, there's another offer on the home. And we're like, wait a minute. I've been out there.
Vacant all this time, and now
and it's been on the market
offers.
for a long time with no offers. And I'm at that house morning, noon, and night, literally looking around. Not in the house, but out there, right? Dreaming, planning, thinking, measuring, all the things. Mm-hmm. And I haven't seen anyone else out there. And now we're in a competing offer situation. So somebody was sitting on it, right? Waiting for it. So now I'm miffed. So now we're in a competing situation where by 5 p.m. the next day, we have to submit a best and final, right? So we up our offer a little bit, but still not to full ask, because it just doesn't it doesn't bring that It didn't in that market with what
In the
needed to be
shape
done.
that was in,
Yep.
yeah.
And our offer is as is. No inspection. And we get a call back that the other person's offer was accepted.
Wow.
And so now the game is on. Like now I'm super pissed.
And I'm a little heartbroken because I'm like,
Jenny's
no.
devastated.
Yeah, you have
And
this dream of living in this
devastated.
house.
And I am
sad.
too.
Because do you ever like, have you ever had the experience where you walk into a space and like just the energy is so good and you're like, oh, I think this is it. Like
feels meant to be.
feel like this
Yes.
is where we're supposed to write our next chapter.
It really felt like we were not only called to be there, but like there were ancestral pulls there for sure.
And it was also like sometimes you walk into these homes where, you know, I mean, it was so much brass and glass, pink tile everywhere. Like it was bad. And so we walked in and it's almost like the house was begging us to love it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
Fix me.
it needed a new life.
Yeah.
A new chapter.
So I sit on it for a few days and I'm like racking my brain. She is upset, which is upsetting for me.
I'm trying not to show it though, but
She was devastated. Like she was heartbroken. And her being heartbroken and me being pissed, I need to fix it, you know? So I start trying to find out who made the other offer, which is nearly impossible. Like, how are you going to find that out? But I somehow figure out who made the other offer. And I tell our realtor to call their realtor and offer them $5,000 cash that I will pay them to walk away.
Wow.
And they declined.
Oh.
So I'm like, okay. I start asking questions, you know, trying to figure out where their offer is. Like, is it contingent on them selling another house? Are they moving from out of state or are they local? Like, I'm trying to still figure out how I can get to first position. So I call our realtor back after I'm offended that they didn't take my $5,000 offer. So I find out that they have a property up in the hills that they have to sell in order to buy this. So there's a contingency. So I'm like, perfect. That's my in. Make a backup offer. And the backup offer is at full price. Because I know I have a good feeling that they came in higher than we did, but not full price. So we make a backup offer at full price. And we receive confirmation that the listing agent has told the seller and they are aware of our backup offer and our position and our deep desire to buy this house. So again, I still keep going out there. Sometimes inside, sometimes not.
Through the unlocked window.
Through somebody else being in first position. And I happen to show up when their inspection is happening. And so I hang out and just
Tina goes to their home inspection.
and I'm just visiting with the dude. Never met him before. Just like, hey, what are you doing? Are they selling? Do they finally have an offer? Like posing as just some rando from the neighborhood, right? And so I'm chit-chatting with the guy and he's like, yeah, this whole deck needs to be replaced. And, he's kind of talking through the things that are going to be on his report. But these are all things that I already know.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to the deck needing to be replaced, he kind of drops a comment like, man, that's a big ticket item. I don't know if these people are going to want to pay for that, because the house is being sold as is. It is clearly listed that way on the MLS. So I go home, I tell Jenny, I call our realtor, and I'm like, hey, this is what just happened. I'm pretty sure that there is going to be they're going to come back and want a contingency tied to the sale, and they're going to want that deck, or at least a drawdown. They're going to want some money off or payment toward closing costs to cover the repair or replacement of that deck, because you couldn't repair the deck. It wasn't safe to walk on.
You'd walk on it, and it was like spongy, like it had give to it, and it was leaning. Yeah.
So I tell Amy, the realtor, that I think that because the current first position realtor doesn't ask if there are any backup offers. Like, they don't know that there are backup offers.
And we're not telling.
So, sure enough, after the home inspection report gets given to the people that are currently in first, they ask for a reduction or for the deck to be replaced. And the sellers declined their offer, and they lost what they thought was a bargaining chip, and we moved into first position because we had a backup offer in. So that was it, like game over.
So then I called, and my ex-husband is our loan officer because he does mortgages.
Terry T does mortgages.
Terry
so,
T.
Yep.
So we got that going.
Nice play, guys. Nice
So
play.
we had that going, and then we sold the Lanark house that we were in to an acquaintance of Jenny's who was moving here out of state to help with her aging mom, just time to move home. And we asked for a pretty healthy upfront down payment, and then the ability to rent back for 4 months, thinking we could get enough done in the first 4 months to be able to kind of live in the mess, if you will, to which she agreed. So we saved all those realtor fees. We had Renee represent her in the proceedings, the deal, and it just kind of worked out. So the day that we closed,
it was the next day. So we closed on the house.
That's right.
And then the next day, I said, let's go. She said, where are we going? I said, it's a surprise. Just get in. Let's get in the car. So we get in the car, and it's like 4 o'clock in the morning because, we get up. We don't get up early.
Yeah, we're normal, not normal.
It's like our
people.
time together. So we get in the car. It's dark, and we drive out to the house, and we have the keys, and I let us in, and there's this. It was just this huge jacuzzi bathtub, like that you would step up like tile levels to get in the thing. And I brought cleaner and everything, and I cleaned that bathtub, and I filled it up with bubble bath, and we took a bath that morning.
Part.
Yeah.
We took a bath in the house we just bought.
Yep.
That was still like vacant and a mess, and I brought little candles and lit the candles, and we just we took a bath in our new house.
That is so cute.
Isn't
Christened
that cute?
it.
Yeah.
Because we take a bath together every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
So she's like, let's go. And I said, where are we going? And why do you have a bag? And she's like, just trust me. Just get in the truck, baby. And it's winter time, and it was perfect. It's got these crank out windows by the bathtub, and we opened the windows, and you had the cool breeze, and there's snowfall. It was just very angelic.
What you did to my eyes.
It was so good.
It was so good. So
I did not know that part of the story.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've ever told anyone.
I don't think we have.
Yeah. We took a bath.
And then 2 days later, a freight truck showed up to the house.
Because you had everything that was
I
needed
had
for
already-
that house. Yeah.
Yep. Once we closed,
Well, no,
You know,
it was
once
once
the
our
offer
offer was
was
accepted.
accepted.
We had about 4 weeks between that time and closing.
yep, I had gone on and purchased. Let me
The
just
deposit that we got from
Yep.
the purchase of our current home.
let me just walk through from door to floor everything I purchased. We'll start in the kitchen. I purchased the kitchen sink, the island light fixtures, all of the
4-inch.
plumbing, nope, the pendants, but
Okay.
getting there. Purchased all of the plumbing fixtures, so the faucet, the pot filler, all of the Thermador appliances, so a wall oven, 36-inch gas range and oven, refrigerator, drawer microwave, all of the can lightings. I had already done the layout of the cabinets, but not finalized. I had selected the countertop finish. Laundry room, new washer and dryer, all of the toilets, all of the dining room light fixture, all of the ceiling fans, the tub, the freestanding tub, all of the shower plumbing fixtures, split vanity, like everything was done. Flooring, the LVP, which was a whole nother,
Horrible.
which was a
Yeah,
nightmare.
terrible decision.
All I hear is ka-ching, ka-ching,
Yep.
ka-ching.
Carpet, like everything, literally everything had been purchased, and a freight truck showed up with like 6 pallets of that we put in the garage until we finished the demo. And
I don't think I've ever met anyone that organized.
Okay, I want you to talk about this one hack for people buying an older home and you're going to know what I'm talking about, because I think the thing people are afraid of is like, well, what if this big thing happens, or what if I have to buy a new furnace, or what if I have to buy a new air conditioner or whatever. So, Tina.
anytime you buy a house, unless it's a new build, which comes with its own warranty, anytime you are the purchaser, you are the buyer, you need to have your realtor as the buyer's agent negotiate and have included a 1-year home warranty as part of the deal.
Wow.
That 1-year home warranty, and we use American Home Shield. So, and if somebody listening wants access to American Home Shield, I'm sure that there's some sort of promo code that we can find and give them money off, whatever. I don't know. We're not sponsored by them, but
I'm going to call them today.
But I'll find a way. I'll find a way. So a 1-year home warranty gives you so much peace of mind, and make sure that that it covers all of your major components, your HVAC, your water heater, like all of those things. And it has saved me on 2 homes, replacing an air conditioner,
Wow.
brand new air conditioner, that I then paid the local HVAC company the difference between the cost of the air conditioner that the home warranty covered and the next size up, because there had been an addition and that size no longer supported the addition because it had 4 more vents.
Wow.
So I paid the difference. And it's also at another home covered a water heater that gave way at the bottom of the tank, rusted.
All those
and
things
don't
you hate to
forget-
pay for.
Don't forget, I used it. You were in Arizona with your
That's
parents,
right.
and it was Christmas Day. Tina was flying home that night,
Mm-hmm.
and I had, 25 people for Christmas. And as everyone's leaving, I'm like, it's a little
it's
chilly,
chilly
in
in
here.
here.
So I go to turn it up, like nothing. It's blowing cold air. Christmas Day.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to get somebody out to replace, it's just like this little tiny igniter thing. But on Christmas Day, the home warranty covered for them to come out and replace that
Yeah, it was
part.
like a $50 copay
yeah.
type thing, which I have now shown Jenny how to fix that
We got a spare.
issue. Yeah, the igniter.
It's a $16 part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it, and then, the process of renovation, we had so many friends. Kevin and Tony came over and were helping us with that big fireplace
Oh my gosh,
demo.
yeah.
And then they were able to salvage all of the original hardwood floor.
Oh wow.
And they're going to put that in their cabin. They have almost 700 acres out by Buckhorn, Wyoming, and they are hand building a cabin out there. They've milled all the logs themselves, and there's no power, so they're going to be able to use
The flooring.
the flooring.
That's cool.
Yeah. And they're recording, and posting. They have a social media channel on TikTok, the Purple Lion Ranch, that they post a lot of the content to. So follow them if you're so inclined. But we had just good friends. Sean and Brian were over there all the time. Sean helped with. We had to reroute. We took the elevation change between the dining room and the living room out, so it was all one floor. So we had to take floor trusses out and reroute HVAC, and it was cantilevered over the foundation, and so there was a lot going on there, and it just I've got photos of Jenny running a demo hammer, pulling up the tile in the kitchen, and all of the
I love the
Dura
demo
rock.
hammer. I love it. Like, I'm an artist with a demo hammer. Words I never thought I would say.
I know. Like, we're there in these great big filtration masks, and it's this cloud
Oh
of
my
dust.
gosh.
And we walk outside, and it looks
Take
like
our
we,
masks off, and we just have like one circle.
looks like
of,
we went through a color
Yes,
run
it
of
was
just
so
white.
funny.
It was
Yeah.
it was hilarious.
And everybody's seen how beautiful your home is decorated. I think we need to talk about on another episode how you decorated, because it's just like out of a magazine. It's so beautiful.
And I had done.
It needs to be put in a magazine.
I
is
had
what
ordered
needs to
all.
happen.
Thank you. Well, thank you. I had ordered all that stuff ahead of time too.
Even
like
driving up to your home, I'm just like, wow.
Well,
So just the
it was
black
so
color
fun.
is so
yeah,
perfect.
it's a lot of people don't
How
think
did
to
you see that?
paint their house black, but just the contrast of all the trees and being up in that canopy and set back, it almost just blends into the hillside. Like you almost don't even see it back there.
It is so perfect.
Cool. And, we're the first house as you drive in, and there's only one way to get in and out of our neighborhood. So then we made friends with all the neighbors, like all the ladies that walk and all the, who would
All
see
the guys
it.
that,
Yeah,
down,
and they're
like,
like,
what are you
"What's
working
going
on
on
now?
now?" Yeah.
And, how'd you do, or who do you use? Now it's
Yeah.
like hey, Tina, like, who do you use for a roofer? Who should I call for, do you have an electrician? Do you have a recommendation on a guy that builds decks? Like, now we are the source of the neighborhood,
I love
and,
it.
And
And any lost dogs too. We get messages like there's an Irish setter down here that we don't know where it goes. And
And now, like, people, they've seen the progress. They've seen the fact that we went through, 4 40-foot roll-offs through the
gosh.
process. And,
Yes.
they've seen the whole process and have asked throughout, like, what are you doing next? And, oh, my gosh, it's looking so good. And I never would have thought of this, or I didn't, I never, that's never, you have such great vision or whatever. And now we get the comments like, hey, thanks for increasing all of our property values. So
Yes. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
it's pretty funny. So,
What kind of wildlife do you see out there?
so that's a great question. Very interesting question. When we first started renovating, demoing the house, we were out one morning and it had fresh snow, and I was walking the dogs through the yard and saw mountain lion paw prints in the front yard. And we have since had mountain lions show up on the security cameras and neighbors' cameras and whatnot. We were out of town, but our neighbor Pat, she had sent us in that first year. She had sent us a photo of a bear.
Are you serious?
Yeah, sitting down by our mailbox, just hanging out in the road, just sitting in the road, kind of just hanging out.
And the cool part about that is that the person who owned the house before us, her name was Pauline Casey, and she and her husband started Bear Country. Bear Country USA, where you can go see the bears.
Is that where
and
the bear
cubs.
came from?
No, it was just passing through.
Through.
We have bears that pass through.
Yeah.
Did you not? Yeah.
I don't like to know that. Do you worry about your cat?
Bears and moose.
Not really.
No, not really. Poppy is.
She's street.
She was rescued from the valley underneath a trailer with
in the
4
pouring
babies.
rain.
She is.
Yeah, she's
she
scrappy.
good.
She good.
Yeah.
So and lots of deer.
And then we also this winter, at Christmas time, we put out on the pad. We have a 30-foot round pad, concrete pad, that will eventually have a fireplace out there. But we go into the hills and we cut down.
I don't even know how we got this home. I don't even know how.
Like I have this.
It's massive.
Handmade, hand-welded, massive 2-person carry metal tree stand.
That we bought off Facebook
That
Marketplace.
we bought off Facebook Marketplace one year. And we have for the last few years gone out and harvested like a 15 to 20 foot Christmas tree, like spruce. And we've rigged, with the help of Kevin and Tony, like a pulley system to stand that tree up on the pad. And we put C9
lights.
Christmas lights, white C9 Christmas lights on it. And last year, on one of the security cameras that's on that side of the property,
Oh my God, this is so cool.
Jenny, like in the middle of the night, got an alert, and she happened to roll over or be awake or what have you, and looked, and there are 2 foxes, red foxes, that are playing out by the Christmas tree. And
It was so
there was a
cool.
dog toy out there from probably Finn or Archer or whoever we had at the time, and they
They're
were
throwing
like
it
throwing
around.
it up in the air and chasing it. And,
Around the Christmas tree.
yeah. It was so
cool.
cute.
Also, I can't wait for our Halloween episode because I know you have a great story.
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
There's so many things about your home that are so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the best things about redoing that house was all of the family time that we got to spend together with the kids. And they had a ball. I mean, I have pictures of them in
And the things I got to
big
teach
plastic barrels on dollies, like carting each other around.
So
and
cute.
just it was a big thing when they got to break glass.
They got to break the old shower
Yeah.
door, and just the things that I got to teach them. And even to this day, like, it wasn't maybe a month, 6 weeks ago, Claire came home and she had asked to stay the night over at Renee's house with Renee's daughter, Kier. So they had girl time and whatnot, and Claire comes home the next day, and Renee happened to call about the time that Claire came home. And Renee says, I have got a proud mama story for you. And I was like, okay, cool. I can't wait to hear it. What? And she said, I was trying to hang like a macrame, like plant, like a pot holder for a plant in the kitchen. And I have tools that she's talking to me. I have tools that you've told me to go buy or that you've bought for me and I've reimbursed you. Mm-hmm. But some of the things I don't know how to use, and I don't know which things to use for what task. And I wanted to drill a hole so I could put an eye hook in to hang the macrame, right? And she's like trying to call me and I didn't answer. And she tried to call Jenny and Jenny didn't answer. And she's kind of talking out loud. And Kiera and Claire are downstairs in the kitchen while she's doing it. And Claire looks over and she's like, Renee, what are you doing? And she said, well, I'm trying to, make a hole so I can put this through. And she's like, you need a drill bit. Like that's not the right thing. And let me help you. And Renee looks at Claire and says, you know how to do this? And Claire says, duh, I'm Tina's daughter. Of course I know how to do this. And Claire totally freaking did it for her. Boop, 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 did all this stuff.
Boom, shakalaka.
Yeah.
So great.
So it's fun for me to now like Henry's job at Ace Hardware. And, the minute he turns 18, he gets to be on the floor and they really rely heavily on him. And he has learned so much from Devin. And I'm forever grateful to Devin. We were friends before, but he has really taken Henry under his wing and shown him that there's a path forward if this is what he chooses to do. I think that, and this is a topic for another episode, but I think that we have pigeonholed people, kids coming out of school, like you have to do these very traditional things in order to be successful. And we just, neither of us, nor the kid's dad or Maggie subscribe to that philosophy. So it's the purchase of this house has really been a massive gift for all four of us. But I can honestly tell you, aside from one emotional little meltdown over carpet.
Yes.
Jenny and I have not argued. There have been no fights. There have been no, it's just been this organic and this lovely kind of story of.
It's like the story of us is now intertwined in the story of the house.
Yeah.
And, Tina pretty much had the Lanark house done when we met.
Sure.
And so I wasn't really a part of that house. Like I have blood, sweat, and tears into this house for sure. Maybe tears because I, hurt myself or something. But
and it's our house.
Yeah.
It wasn't them moving into my house. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's
We all made
something
it.
special about that. We all made it. And not just the design choices, but the finishes. To have somebody to talk through those things and what about this or what about that. Because, as good as I am with those things, Jenny also has this flair for softness and some vintage things that just put a different touch on what can be very structural or linear in the way that I approach design. And it's
But Tina's design approach is absolutely another podcast because I have learned so much from Tina about, I didn't know the difference between contemporary and traditional and modern,
Right.
and how you fit into a design style, but then you can incorporate other elements to make it your own, if that makes sense.
100% makes sense.
So, I would love to talk about that with you because a lot of times we'll watch shows that are, redesign shows, home redesign, and sometimes the things that they put together don't necessarily all jive with what they're trying to achieve in a look and feel. And it's really fun to watch them with her because she'd be like, well, that would be so much better if it was this way. And it would be, So
I think foundationally, I'm really good with foundational pieces and then how to pull different elements of texture and of fabrics and textiles and.
Do you think our next episode should be about this?
Maybe.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
How you
We like it.
designed
But
the inside.
we now have come full circle because Jenny just last week had reached out to, Mrs. Casey. Mr. and Mrs. Casey have since passed. But we have done our best to honor the land and respect the home that they created and take it into a new life for a new family, us. And so Jenny reached out to a few of the siblings that we know here in town, and we are going to have them over. And, because we found things throughout the demo and renovation.
What was that little note that you found? It was like a note from the daughter who, is now our age.
It was a Mother's Day card.
Yeah. And she wrote this sweet note, and we found it like in the back of a drawer, like, behind the drawer.
Where things
And
always
so,
fall. It's just fun things that we have come across. And
we try to reunite them.
so we want to hear a little bit about, we want them to come and see the property and look through, but we want to hear a little bit about their origin story and how that house came to be and how Bear Country, because we would like to name the property, but perhaps there's a way to tie in its past.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yep.
Not your average home buying story.
No,
It's what you make it.
but we are not average.
You're not. Nor do you like average size canned lights.
No.
No.
Stop with the 6-inch cans for the love
6-inch
of
cans
God.
should be banned. Well,
Please.
unless it's a commercial space.
Yeah, they just should not ever be put into a home.
There.
Or boob lights.
Or boob lights.
No boob lights.
No boob lights.
And everybody knows what we're talking about.
Yes.
Because they're all in there. The mushroom, boob, freaking contractor pack, 3 in a pack, 2 in a pack.
She's got strong feelings about
$39 at Menards. But then get your 11% off rebate.
it. I live for that
money.
coupon
That's
too.
right.
Save big money at Menards. All right, girls.
All right. Phone number.
Yes, if you have a question, a comment, anything that you would like to share, we would love to hear from you. The number is 844-605-LIFE, which is 844-605-5433. And then you can also email questions, comments, things that you have for topics that you would like us to discuss, info@theunicornprojects.com. And if I could just ask this in closing, we are really close to getting to the 1,000 downloads a week. And that's a pretty big milestone for us. We would love if you could comment, like, and share the podcast with all of your friends and family. That it's been a big goal of ours to hit that number, and we're really close. We could use your help.
Yeah.
So
Great.
Yeah. All right.
all right.
Unicorn.
Unicorn.
Thank you for tuning in to the Unicorn Projects, hosted by Amy Rose with Jenny and Tina. Music by Caroline Kilty. Produced by Russ Haddon. Engineered by Chris Jaquez. It's the Unicorn Projects on the Home Slice Audio Network.